Why are you looking at me?
Because this is your time to shine.
You said last episode that you were going to steal my intro for the next episode, so I was waiting for you.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I need reminders about stuff like this. The stuff I say on here, I need to be held accountable.
No, actually, okay. Did you see on the last post on Insta, they like posted something I said. It was like a clip of me saying something. I was watching it and I was like, I have no memory of saying that.
When did I say that? I don't remember saying that at all.
Hilarious. I'm so funny.
You black out and go comic.
Biggest fan. You have nothing? You're not going to start on the fly?
Well, actually, sure. Well, no. No, I wasn't prepared to start the episode. That's your job.
Yeah, so it's not that easy, Ash.
It's not that easy
to just pop something out.
This is your turf. This is your territory.
Are you giving me props for what I do every week?
Of course, yes.
Thanks, Ash.
Of course.
Okay, that's it. We're gonna start this episode with me just getting some recognition from Ash because I need it.
Give it up for Taryne. Hello.
Are you guys a fan of the show? If you are, we have a VIP subscription that you can sign up to get much more of your girls here.
Become a premium subscriber and get access to exclusive episodes, ad-free listening, discounts on merch, and so much more. Plus, it's only $5 a month, which is way cheaper than your everyday latte.
To sign up, just go ahead and go to the show notes and you can click the link.
Also, if you have any stories that you would like us to read on our podcast, this is your moment to shine. Send your emails at, what's the email called, Taryne?
Advice, unsolicitedpod@gmail.com. It can be funny. It can be sad. It can be deep. It can be light. It can be your story. It could be a friend's. It could be short. It could be long. All shapes and sizes are welcome. So send it in today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Unsolicited Advice. That voice over there is Taryne.
Hello.
This voice over here is Ashley. Welcome back to the podcast where we advise you on all the things that you need advice on.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Even some things you don't need advice on, but we're going to tell you anyways.
Yeah. So if you're a regular here and you have a story that you need advice on or a situation you need advice on, take this as your time, as your sign to write us. And if you're new here, guess what? You can write in.
Yep.
Anything. Literally any life situation, any story, and we'll give you advice on it. It is so much fun.
I don't know
why are you laughing at me?
It was just the way you're like, guess what? Like Bill Nye the Science Guy.
And
like,
guess what?
Guys, what do we do if we mix this and this?
This and this.
Also, we're just going to do a quick plug because me and Ash are coming fresh from recording Supercast.
Correct.
I'm just going to say this. When I push for you guys to do it, it's the only reason I'm doing it is because I'm sad that not all of you are hearing these episodes because they're so good.
Yes.
Like our episode we did today, we were talking about, one was a girl who recently found out she was autistic and she's trying to balance like what is overstimulating her in her life and like what she also enjoys, which I thought that was such a cool topic.
Very.
And she was so brave to write in. And then the other one was about like a girl whose guy was like making her feel like she was too needy. And me and Ash were like, no.
Yeah, the title for that one was How Needy is Too Needy.
And the title should have been, my boyfriend is a walking red flag. Convince me to break up with him. So, like, they're so good. And I feel like also, like, me and Ash just get, I don't know, it's different. It's a different vibe. So, if you've been on the fence, you should totally subscribe to Supercast.
Yeah, give it a shot.
It's $5 a month. And we'll have the link and everything in the show notes. So, I'm just going to plug, because I was literally, the whole time I was recording, I was like, I want everyone to hear this.
It's weekly bonus content, and $5 is so cheap for all the bonus content we give you. So definitely worth a little shot.
A little shot.
Take a shot on us. I am so excited because I have a story time today. I had the most incredible experience happen to me on Saturday.
Okay, I'm so excited because Ashley posted this story and it's like her drumming on something and then like everyone's singing Africa, and it was just like the funniest thing. And I was like, first of all, what is happening here? Where are you? And this looks magical. But she's been like, I'm not telling you till we get to the pod.
Well,
so I've been like,
we
dying.
always talk about like we try really hard to not share things in person and to bring it to the podcast, so that we can get like raw reactions and stuff like that. It never happens. Like we always end up breaking and like telling each other like updates and stuff. But I really wanted to hold back and make sure I got this one on the podcast. Also, if you're wondering what Taryne's talking about, I didn't post it like publicly. I posted it on my close friends.
Oh, it was your close friends?
Yes. So you actually haven't seen what Taryne's talking about. But long story short, we're going to keep this anonymous. But a friend of mine has a friend.
Okay.
Who works for a billionaire.
Okay.
And every once in a while, my friend will kind of like sub in for her friend. If her friend is sick or if her friend is traveling or has like plans or whatever and can't do her job, then my friend will step in.
Kind of like a PA type thing?
Very similar. The job title is event coordinator.
Oh, okay.
And evidently, there's this really wealthy old man who had started a company from the ground up, made tons of money, obviously, he's a billionaire. And
does he have any sons?
Yeah, that is the question. And he is retired, so he sold his company.
And is just living the rich life.
Sold
Jealous.
his house, which I later looked up online.
As one should.
Right. Sold for $46 million in Bel Air.
Cool.
So he sold all of these things and is now living on a yacht.
Casual.
And
cool.
Their job, my friend's job, and now kind of my friend's job every once in a while, is to plan parties on his yacht. So he's a very like social butterfly, and he's older. He's like 86 and loves to have fun. And he literally rows at 86. I'm going to say that again, rowing, like the sport, every morning at 6 with an Olympian trainer.
Okay.
Like a badass. I literally aspire to be him now.
Yeah.
And so my friend ends up texting me. She's working for him this weekend, and she's like, hi, like this is really random and I don't know how to explain this, but I'm working for this guy and he wants to not have like a party, more of like a chill hang, and told me to invite any friends that I want. And would you want to come? She was like, you can bring your sister, or you could bring Jackson, or you could bring both of them. Like, it doesn't matter. We just want like a small intimate group, and we'll have dinner and drinks and like have fun. And so I'm so intrigued by this.
Oh,
I'm like,
absolutely.
This is the most LA invite.
Well, it's like I'm either going to get murdered or
Exactly.
have the best night of my life.
So I send the text to my boyfriend and my sister in a group chat, and I'm like, hey, listen to this entire voice text beginning to end, because there were so many details, you know? And I was like, let me know your thoughts. And immediately my boyfriend's like, I'm in.
Absolutely.
And immediately my sister's like, we have to go, you know?
I'm so sad I was busy.
So all of us were literally like, this could either be really weird, or this could be like a Gatsby thing, you know,
Yeah.
like this could be sick. But either way, we're going to go. So I think in the back of my head, to keep things, I didn't want to get too excited that it could be like a Gatsby thing. I was like, this could be like some old man like trying to show off, or like a bunch of whatever. Anyways, we get there and she gives us a tour. She shows us all his boats because he has multiple. She shows us the yacht. It's like one of the biggest ones in the like, what do you call them?
Marina, harbor, yeah.
And we're just like jaws to the floor. And I'm like, I wanted to, you know, we wanted to impress him. So like I had Jackson go, like I asked my friend what kind of alcohol he liked, because she said drinks were going to be there. He was a Scotch guy. So I had Jackson go get like a nice Scotch. So we like show up with something, you know?
Of course.
And like we walk in, he's the sweetest.
Good. So he wasn't
man.
like creepy. He was just like fun. Like
exact opposite of what we were worried about it
Yeah.
being, even though that we would have had fun no
that
matter
was
what.
like the back of my mind was like, what if
Yes.
he's like,
And I think the reason Alicia and I didn't like panic about that was because of, one, who my friend was and being able to trust her. And then also we had Jackson with us.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Felt safe.
it won't be creepy, but it could be weird.
uncomfy.
A little
Yeah.
uncomfortable. He was just a gem. Just an absolute gem. And he wanted to talk to each of us like individually. We immediately sit down. He decorated or had his staff decorate the entire like dining room with St. Patrick's Day decor, because St. Patrick's Day was going to be the next day. And all we did that night was eat pasta. I had way too many martinis, and we did karaoke.
Oh my gosh.
That's all we did. That's literally all we did. And
it's like a movie.
Was so sweet. He wanted to hear all about mine and Alicia's YouTube career. He had so many questions for Jackson about like his job and we just had like the most incredible conversations. He was so inspiring and just kept telling us like, I'm so full of life, and I hope that you're full of life, and you'll be here in 50 years. Like the future is yours. And I walked away from there and I was like,
I can do anything.
I can do whatever.
I will own a boat.
I will be him. Like I want to row every day at 6. Like that's what I want.
Gosh.
And it was so inspiring. At one point, me, my friend, my sister, my boyfriend were all crying because of how amazing he is. And it was honestly a life-changing experience.
Please tell me that you feel like you might get an invite in the future and I can come, because
we made it very clear if he ever wants company again to let us know, because I couldn't get over what a sweet gem of a human being he was or is. And so also him and Jackson just like hit it off, talking about
Jackson's
like business
such a
and
good,
work.
like,
also, Jackson gave him the scotch and he was like, you what? And he was like, oh, well, we just wanted to say thank you, like, for having us. Like, all the drinks and dinner was on him. You know, we didn't pay for anything.
Which he's probably not used to, because I feel like, especially like for that type of invite, you're going to get a lot of people who are like, well, what am I going to get out of this? And they're probably like superficial, just taking like videos on his boat the whole time, like not going to be literally drumming and singing Africa for this man.
Funny note, I brought my G7X and Alicia brought her digital camera, assuming that we were going to be getting boat content and like stuff like that. The second we sat down, we didn't even reach for our phones. We didn't get a photo. Like we were like, this isn't the vibe whatsoever. But also he was so fun. And he was matching Jackson like drink for drink, and he wanted to pour the scotch in like both of them. And I couldn't get over how much he was drinking. And I was like, man, I'm feeling a little, I need to slow down. And it was an absolute blast. And he sang like Frank Sinatra and all these like oldies.
Cute.
And it was so fun and pure and life-giving. And I just walked out of there feeling so proud of like myself and so proud of like what I've been able to accomplish so far, and so excited for like what I can accomplish. I don't know. It was really great.
I love that for you.
It's not at all what I thought it was going to be. But it was a really fun experience.
Well, I'm manifesting another hang that I will be a part of.
Same. It was
Sounds
so
like a
great.
dream. Sounds like a dream. Well, I had an interaction with someone that wasn't a beautiful, life-changing moment, but very interesting.
Ooh.
So this weekend I went to Rolling Loud in LA. It was like by SoFi. And we're walking up, and like there's of course like tons of people everywhere. All of a sudden I see these two guys like running like full speed at us.
Ooh.
And they both kind of had like their hoods on, and were just kind of like running with purpose. So I was more just like, let me get out of their way, but I wasn't paying attention to like who they were or anything.
Right.
So then as the second guy runs past me, I hear this like dunk on the floor, and I look down and his cell phone fell out of his pocket.
Oh shoot. Not at a festival.
I know. So then, because dude, at festivals, people just like will slit your backpack and like steal all your stuff.
I literally got my phone taken out of my backpack at Coachella.
Yeah. And so
never wear a clear bag. That was I shouldn't have.
Never. And I'm extra sensitive to that. And the second his phone fell, the way like everyone was like going to rush for it, and I was like, what the heck? So my sister-in-law grabs the phone, and then it's so loud, but I'm screaming because these guys are like freaking marathon
They're
sprinting.
already like gone.
Yeah. So I'm like screaming. I'm like, your phone, like over and over. And then I was just like, oh, he's gone. Like, whatever. We'll go deliver it to a lost and found or whatever. But finally, my last, like, your phone. He turns, runs back. As he comes in, he's like reaching for his phone. I look and I was like, it was Jeff Wittick.
Oh my God, weird.
I know. And I was like,
what's he up to?
I don't really know,
These
but like,
days.
hopefully he's thriving.
Right.
I will say he was I don't know if it was just because it was like such a like weird encounter, but he seemed like giant in person. Like he was just like huge to me. But it was so funny because he was like,
I don't think he's that tall, is he?
He seemed really tall. But I mean, a lot of people seem tall to me, so I don't know. But he grabbed the phone back and then he kind of like looked at me and smiled and then like started running. But I don't even know what my face must have been like because I was just kind of like.
Sorry, did he say thank you?
I think so. Like, I think it was like a grab a phone, like smile, like, and then just kept running. But it was so funny because
you guys saved his life.
Literally.
I don't think that should be like downgraded at what you did.
And like being someone like on social media, like that could be so dangerous in like the wrong hand.
For sure.
And I didn't see him when he was going. Because if I would have seen him, I could have, like, we have plenty of people we're connected with that are also connected to him. Mm-hmm. So I could have been like, hey, like, Jeff, like, can you tell him I have his phone? Like, whatever. But like if the wrong person got it and just like hacked in and is like, yeah, it's scary. So anyways, it was just so random. And it was so funny because like I didn't know it was him going. But when he ran back and like I saw him, I was just like, what? It was just like a weird moment where you're like, huh? You know what I mean? But yeah, it was so random. So that was my encounter for the weekend.
Nice.
It didn't change my life.
Okay. Well,
I am the same person. I'm not inspired for life, but it was an encounter.
And a great reminder to say thank you.
Yeah.
I hope you said thank you.
Saved your life. It was a blur and he was definitely like booking it. So I don't know if like it, but he definitely like looked and smiled. So I think it was like his way of saying thank you. Good. Just so random. I was like, huh, that guy.
Yeah, I know you.
Yeah, but I don't.
I know your face.
I know your face. Any hoozle, should we jump into?
Probably should.
Turn it up.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the Tearing It Up segment. This is when you guys send in funny, embarrassing stories and we all get a good laugh at you, with you, but also at you, but also with you.
With, among.
I'm not going to say the title. Let's just go ahead and dive in. Hey, Ash and Taryne. My name is... Just kidding. They want to stay anonymous.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to be anonymous for this email. They write, I can say she. She writes, I'm 26 and married and I work in accounting. That really doesn't pertain to the story, but I thought I would share that information anyways. Today, I'm going to share a story that is so embarrassing that I literally shake my head every time the memory enters my brain. This happened about 8 years ago. Most of the details of the hangout don't matter, but all you need to know is 3 things. I was hanging with 2 girls and a guy friend who I had an extremely complicated past with. We were in a basement and I was wearing light pink skinny jeans. This story couldn't be more embarrassing enough right there.
I was just going to say like that. It's so funny, like the fashion that like didn't last that long when we were like younger. Like,
yeah. But also like that's trends. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like all of high school to like most of my college was all skinny pants or skinny jeans, and it just like one day just wasn't, like it was just done.
Thank God,
so
because us that have like thick thighs and big calves, like it's not like the look. Yeah. So every time I wore like skinny jeans, I would just be like, it's not doing the same thing to me
what
as it is
doing
to you.
For you, it's not doing for me.
No, not doing it.
She goes, I attached a photo of me in the pants for reference. This is from a separate occasion, but it gives you a good example of what I'm talking about. These pants were practically my skin color. And it was a really long time ago. So not only were they skinny jeans, but like imagine me wearing like a very pale pink. Like I would kind of look naked.
Yeah.
You know, like it's that light of a pink.
Yeah.
Not hot pink. We're going like Ashley's skin tone, but a little pinkier.
Yeah.
Okay. She writes. Anyways, so the hangout is over and it's time to go home. The other 2 girls start walking up the stairs and I follow behind them. My guy friend is walking up closely behind me. I say this because I need you to visualize this, how when you walk behind someone on the stairs, how close your face is actually to the butt of the person in front of you.
Yes.
Right? Like if you're going upstairs single file, like whoever's behind you has a great view of your butt and they're actually really close to your butt. Yeah. I distinctly remember my extremely self-absorbed inner monologue, which went as follows, quote, "Oh, blank is walking up the stairs behind me. He definitely has a close-up look of my butt in these skinny jeans. Oh, well, at least my butt looks super good."
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't mind the view. I literally remember having that confident little smirk on my face and thinking this exact thing in my head. So cringe, she adds.
And she's probably like, when you're walking in front of a guy, like
you kind
your
of
hips,
lean into
like,
the sway.
Yeah.
You don't
You're, like,
actually walk that way, but you just lean in
going
slightly.
up the stairs, like wobble with it,
Yeah. She continues, "We are now at the front door putting on our shoes. We live in Canada, so keep in mind you don't wear shoes in the house. I'm still feeling so confident in myself and I'm feeling hot as shit. Well, as I bend over to tie my laces, I am suddenly hit with extreme concern when I feel the cool sensation against my butt, which I was definitely sticking out a little bit because, again, I was bent over and I was feeling myself that night. I wanted to scream, you guys, I started my period."
Wait, okay. I just automatically assumed like her pants split.
I know.
But it was a different
Cool.
sensation she was feeling. Oh my gosh, and that does not hide anything.
In light pink skinny jeans.
Oh my gosh.
She writes, God, I'm mortified. I had this happen once. I was wearing light blue skinny jeans. It was actually, they weren't skinny jeans. I think they were flares. This was in middle school. And it literally changed my life. Like I won't wear stuff like that on my period now.
I was in white Dickies.
No.
Because our cheer squad had to wear white Dickies with t-shirts for game days. And I didn't start my period till high school. So it was like one of the first times I had my period. And I was like, what's happening to my body? Ran to the bathroom and it was literally all over them. And I was so embarrassed because I was like, everyone saw me like walk out like that. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
She writes, "I had bled through my pants. It was everywhere. It was so much and it was so visible. I wanted to scream. I wanted to die. I quickly stood up, said bye, and shuffled like a penguin outside into the darkness." Many questions still haunt me about this. Did I also bleed onto the couch where we were sitting? Why did I even wear those horrible pants to begin with? And most of all, did he see it? I mean, probably.
Girl, you were doing that Beyonce strut.
Yeah.
Like he probably was like
right in
girl.
front of his face. And then she adds, like, did he tell people about it? My guy friend never said anything to me about it, but we also are not friends anymore. Not because of this, but it was a contributing factor. Lesson learned, remember to be humble or life will literally humble you immediately. I'm definitely humble now. Love y'all. Hope you enjoyed my story.
I'm done. That sucks.
Similar thing. It's a quick, I remember being in middle school. We had an ice skating day with a group of my friends that my parents took me to. I was wearing these light blue, very fitted jeans that had a flare on the bottom. And I had a crush on this guy who was about to be my boyfriend. Like it was like, he was my first boyfriend. And I remember bending over, like feeling the same way on the rink because I was like, I had a crush on him. And then I remember bending over to like take my skates off and I realized that I had bled through. And I was like, I just was circling the ice. Basically bent over because I couldn't skate. So it was like a lot of like wobbling and falling forward. I was like, the entire rink literally saw me on my period. It was stupid. Mortifying.
Those poor women.
Every girl has one of those stories, though.
This is why we're better than everyone because we've gone through these traumatic things,
trials and tribulations.
We come out stronger. Yeah, trials and tribulations. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our first story. This one is titled, "My roommate dated my brother and it did not end well."
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. I wonder. Well, I'll let you read.
Yeah.
I was about to just jump the gun, but now I'm like, well.
Have you ever had a thing with a friend's brother?
No.
Oh. I have had crushes on friend's brother, and then one friend.
Oh, well, I've had crushes. I've never had I've never dated a friend's brother.
Yeah, one friend. I still to this day, like, I just like loved him. And there was one night we were like hanging out at the same place, and it was one of those, like, every time I was out at her house, I'd just be like extra just aware because I'm like, he could walk in any second. And he started kind of paying attention to me, but most of the time he'd walk in and he'd be like, I'm going to say her name was like Sarah. He'd be like, Sarah, did you take my shoes? And I'd just be like, hi. Like, hi. I don't know where she is, but I'll let her know. Yeah. Just so like, oh my God.
You just woke up. It's like breakfast time.
Yeah.
You have gloss and mascara on. Not just a little gloss, like the thick gloss.
Loved him. And so he was like we like hung out in this friend group and he was like also a part of it. So there's one night in particular, we were all hanging out super late and then he didn't have a ride. And so I was like, this is your moment. So I was like, I could give you a ride. And so we get in the car, we're like driving, listening to music. And then he's like, hey, I'm like not tired. Are you tired? And I was like, no,
not if you're not.
I'll never sleep again if you don't want me to. And so he was like, do you want to like drive to the beach and just like hang for a while? He's like, I don't know. I just like feel like having like a night. And I was like,
do you want to just make this a date night about us?
I was like, yes. And I'm like trying to remain cool in my like Ford Focus, just like freaking out. So we drove to the beach and we're like walking. And mind you, like I had never had a solid conversation with him. So but we were totally vibing, like just talking about life, whatever.
It's also nice that you're driving because it gives you something to do.
Dude,
in those situations.
Never know where to put my hands or my feet, anything when I'm in the passenger. I'm so squirmy.
And most importantly, you don't have to look them in the eye because you're focused driving. So you can be freaking out without fully having to face them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we get to the beach. As we're like walking towards the water, he comes behind me and just kind of puts his arms like we're walking like total like coupley pose.
Are you kidding me?
I was like,
I would have lost my
in the Notebook. Like this is my moment.
You're a bird, I'm a bird.
No, it was the most romantic night of my life, which is so funny because literally nothing ever happened from it. But so anyways, so then we're like up there and then we go sit on the lifeguard tower and we're just like talking, blah, blah, blah. I like look over at something and when I turn, he just like kisses me.
Oh my God.
And it was the most romantic.
This was very like thought out on his part.
Yeah, he was just like going with it. So anyways, so romantic. It was amazing. Drove home, dropped him off. And then literally we never spoke about it again. Like when we'd see each other, he'd kind of like smirk and be like, hey, but like that was totally it. So then.
Question, because I need to know this detail. How old were you at that time? How old was he?
Probably like, it was before I started dating who shall not be named. So probably like
the ex,
18.
Okay.
19 maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyways, but then I couldn't tell my friend because I was like so nervous and her and him like fought all the time. Mm-hmm. So then there was one night she was asleep and my other friend were sitting there and I was like,
wait, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep asking.
Yeah.
We can bleep the name, but can I ask which friend it was? Can I tell you?
It was.
Oh, I was going to say.
No, I was in love with her brother too.
No, okay. I was like, wait, do I know who this is?
Oh my God, I was in love with her brother too.
Bleep all of those, Michaela.
Everything for brothers apparently. But so we were sitting and I'm talking to my friend and I was like getting emotional because I was like, I feel like a bad friend. Like I feel like I need to tell her, but like I don't know what to do. And she's like, I thought she was dead asleep. And she goes, are you talking about how you made out with my brother? And I turned and I was like, I'm sorry. And she was like, he's disgusting, but whatever. Do your thing. I don't care. But anyways, that was my brother's story.
Oh my God.
Wasn't it like a movie though?
Yeah, that is a movie.
That was one of my, if I had to like pinpoint some of my best like kiss moments, that was definitely one of them.
Well, I mean, especially at that age, that is all we ever wanted from a guy. All you ever wanted from a guy.
All you wanted. Yeah. Yep. Anyways, okay. Continuing. Hi, beautiful ladies. I would like to remain anonymous, but you guys can know my name. It's please bleep, Michaela. I want to thank you for making such an amazing podcast and being brave enough to truly put your thoughts out for us to hear, even when they might not be the easiest to say. You guys are truly the real ones.
Oh,
love that.
Stop.
Anyways, on to the story. So my roommate situation is 4 girls, 2 to a room. I entered this year of college not knowing any of my roommates, which was a little scary, but it turned out pretty well. We all got along really well and had a blast together. My brother also goes to school with me and often comes over. Around October, he decides he likes one of my roommates. He told me when he started asking her out and I didn't mind. It wasn't my choice to tell him who to like. So my roommate started dating my brother like a week into seeing each other, which was really fast, but I didn't say anything because
started seeing each other like officially.
Yeah. So like
Wow.
met a week later, they're like boyfriend, girlfriend.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like middle school speed.
Let me tell you right now, as a 30-something-year-old woman who wants to have babies, that's the timeline I'm trying to live in my life right now. Meet, date, marry, babies. Done. Which, and any potential person, any guy listening is like, I'll never ask you out.
They're like, cool, bye.
I'll never ask you out. Start saving for a ring. Okay. Once again, not my business. Soon my roommates started to spend every second with him. I'm not kidding. They were never separate. I once again did not mind. However, I did start to mind once my brother started to not talk to me as much and then started to just be mad at me. At first, I was so confused about why this was happening. I confronted him about it, and he said he was mad at me because his girlfriend had told him that I was being mean to her and not including her. Okay.
Interesting.
So obviously, I felt horrible. So I went up to her and apologized and started to invite her to things more. The reason I wasn't in the beginning is because she spent all of her time with my brother, and I didn't think she would want to come. So once I started to invite her to things, she would come to a few events, but mostly still say no. This wasn't a problem until she started to complain to me that she felt like she has no friends and that everyone had a friend group but her.
Oh, you mean all the roommates that you ignore because you have a boyfriend?
Yeah. I wanted to be honest with her and help her out. So I told her, you know, it might be because you spend a lot of time with your boyfriend. Maybe you should try and spend less time with him and try to go out on your own and make friends on your own so you can feel more independent.
Yeah.
She liked that idea and said she would try it. What I didn't know was that she went to my brother, her boyfriend, told him that I told her to spend less time with him because he is isolating her. I did say this to an extent, but I didn't mean for it to come out like that at all.
Well, also that makes it sound like he's being manipulative and like controlling her.
No, it is like you're not coming out because you're with your boyfriend, but
boyfriend's
it's not
isolating you because you're allowing your relationship to isolate you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As you could have guessed, my brother was furious and cut me off. He told me he no longer trusted me and did not want to hang out with me anymore. Mind you, my brother and I have been best friends all of our lives, so this was really out of the blue. This is also his first relationship and my roommates, which honestly, that makes so much sense.
It does.
Every single person has put up with or acted in ways that are counter to how they naturally would in a first relationship.
Oh, totally.
Every single person.
Totally.
Yeah.
100%.
No, every person.
It's almost expected. You get swept up in the like.
Yeah. Which is why as a friend, you're like, have to tiptoe to be like, hey, honey, like this is not the look. Like you shouldn't do this. But nobody ever wants to listen. Fast forward to now. They broke up last week and now it is legit hell in my apartment. Oh, no. All of my roommates are now bashing my brother and I feel like I'm in the middle once again. My roommate has been crying nonstop for days and my brother keeps asking me how she's doing. I finally was coming to terms with what had happened with my brother, but now that he broke up with her, he came to me for help and said he wants to be friends again. My roommate is also constantly talking about how toxic my brother was and asking me how he is doing and handling the breakup.
No.
My question is, how do I get over what my brother did to me and continue to be his friend, even though he totally cut me out of his life for a girl he had just met? And how do I not bash my brother and not get in between the breakup? Anything would be appreciated. Love you both. Anonymous.
Oof.
Messy.
Very messy. Things are different with your brother. You're related. That's family. I think you guys can work it out. I think you guys will work it out. I think you guys will be fine. But I do think with him and the girl, like boundaries should be set. Mm-hmm. With him, they wouldn't be as firm of boundaries, I feel like, because I would want to console my brother, obviously. So I think it would be more along the lines of like, hey, like I'm here for you, but also like, screw you for cutting me out of your life. You know you messed up, and like, what were you expecting here? Yeah. Also, stop asking me about my roommate. This is getting annoying. Like I don't need it. I'm not here to tell you about her. I'm here to help you through whatever your emotions you're dealing with. Like that's what I can help you with as your sibling. But I'm not going to update you on everything about her. Like I don't want to be this middle person.
Yeah.
And with her, I feel like if she needs to vent with the roomies, she should have that luxury. It's her roommates, it's her girls. Like, she should be able to do that, but she shouldn't expect you to chime in on anything.
No.
Like, I would just be like, that's actually really rude for you to think that I would bash my brother. Like, is he perfect? No. And I'll be the first to tell you that, but I'm also not going to sit here and like drag his name. But I'm here to hear. I'm here to listen. I'm here to support you. I will pour a glass of wine and sit on the couch and be there with you, but I will not actually be like dragging him through the dirt. Yeah.
I think honestly, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Like, what are these people worth?
Are they your friends?
Fighting for? Are they roommate situational friends? Because for me, I don't see this clearing up anytime soon, especially because it was the first breakup, first heartbreak. You are tied to him. So no matter what, no matter how much like time, every time she sees you, or if you're like, oh, I'm going to go to like my family thing, or if you're telling a story and she's like, well, I know the brother was with her. This is going to be like a repeat thing. So if I were you, like, we're getting close to, what month is it? We're getting close to summer, like end of the year. I would really, really take a moment to be like, okay, if nothing changed,
into
if
the
this
school year.
dynamic,
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. If this dynamic doesn't change, are these people that I'm like, oh, I see these as my like forever friends. Like, I would do anything for them. I would put up for the weirdness with. Or do you need to start on the DL looking for a new roomie situation and just create space?
That's a good thing. You should think about that first before you do what I said.
Yeah, I just think like you just need to, and I think that's okay. Like, it's not that you're a bad friend or whatever, but for a person who has lived in very toxic environments, like especially college where you're just roomed with like random people.
Yeah.
It deeply starts to affect your mental health when like you don't have a safe place to come home to. Home should be somewhere, like I used to like drive up and I would see like a roommate's car and I would just sit in my car for a while because I'm like, I don't even want to go in. You should never have to deal with that if you don't have to.
In your safe space, in your home. Yeah.
So I think like, especially because it's not like you have your own room so you can just go escape. Like, you're sharing with these people. And if this is the continued thing, I feel like I would look for an exit unless you're wanting to fight for it. But I would also lay some boundaries of like, hey, I just want everyone to like have a moment to fairly acknowledge like, this is my family. So this is a very weird position that I'm being put in. And I understand if like you guys need to go hang out and talk about it when I'm not here. Cause like, rightfully so, he hurt you. You should
appreciate that.
Yeah. And I would just kind of address it, but like draw a boundary of like, there are going to be some conversations I'm just going to bow out of because it makes me uncomfortable. With your brother, I really do think you need to like, I get why it hurt you so much, and you should definitely call him out on it and be like, bro, what in the world? You just cut me out. Like, call him out. But I do think you need to give him a little grace because it's his first relationship and we all do stupid stuff. Like, both of my brothers, their first relationships like acted like fools. And
also,
then at the end, we're like, sorry.
No one's first relationship went well.
No.
Right? Because it was their first relationship. Everyone goes head over heels into the romance mode. Everyone dips out from their families, their friends, their jobs, their responsibilities because they're in their first relationship. Like, it's heightened, it's exciting. There's all these things. It's expected.
Yeah.
It's actually super normal. We've all done it.
So I would call him out. I would tell him like it really hurt you. And then I would be like, hey, moving forward, when you're in another relationship, like I just want this to be something that like isn't going to happen again. But I think this could continue to be messy. So I would just take a moment to like take an inventory on like what is worth fighting and saving or not.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're living in like a dorm, an apartment, whatever, but like start looking. And even if you go like, I don't think there's, and this is what I wish I would have done more of. I don't think there's a problem with living with people that they're just your roommate.
There's no
like,
problem
with that. You
with
don't need to like
Sometimes
be besties.
It's easier.
Yeah, like one year I had this girl. We did not connect at all. Like the only thing we connected on is she had all the seasons of Friends and we would like watch Friends sometimes together. But she had her own life and her own friends. I had my own life and my own friends. When we'd see each other, we were respectful and like, hey, what's up? Like, how was your day? But every time I left, there was never this awkward like, oh, I have to invite her or, oh, she's being rude. Like if she's in a mood, I'd just be like, well, okay, like do your thing. I'm going to be over here. When I went through my breakup, I was living with her, poor thing, because I didn't get out of bed for like 4 days. And finally my friends came in and were like, it's stale in here. Like you need to take a shower and get up.
Yeah.
It was like the open the curtains. And I was
Open the
like,
curtains, throw you in the shower.
So, but she literally was like, it's cool, and went and stayed with her family like for a few days because I was like, this is how I'm going to be for a while. Like, and I would just be crying and like laying in bed.
Yeah.
So it was just like, but she didn't need to feel the need to like comfort me because like we weren't friends like that.
Which again, like sometimes that's nice.
Yeah. Especially if you're like figuring out what you want, your likes and dislikes, whatever. So I would just like try to find someone that you have mutual respect for.
Also, what's the timeline here? Like, did they just break up? Because if they just broke up, like, give her a week or two, give him a week or two. They're going to need some time to like kind of calm down from this.
They broke up last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I feel like you're in the height of the like breakup misery. So it won't always be like this.
Yeah.
You could easily like live with them again and everything will be fine because she's dated a few more guys or has a new guy and it's like she's over it now. But because it's so fresh, it's just like really heightened at this
and you'll
moment.
be able to tell. You can tell, you know, when like your friends will go through something and you're like, this is going to be what we talk about for every day for years.
Yeah.
And then there's other ones where they're like wanting to get past it, wanting to move forward. So I feel like you'll be able to tell, but I would give a couple months. But if you need to like make a decision for you, like make a decision for you.
100%.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oof. Good luck. That's why it's messy.
Yeah.
I never was into like, luckily, like none of my friends like friends of mine like had crushes on my brothers, but nobody ever like actually wanted to like date any of them.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like easy because I didn't have to deal with that. And when a girl came in my brother's life, I was the very intimidating like sister, and I liked that power.
Yeah.
So if it was a friend, I'd feel weird being like,
and again,
you know?
like I can't imagine. I haven't been in this specific situation, but like I can't imagine like someone wanting to like just drag Alicia, my sister, you know, and me just sit there. Like I'll be the first to say she's not perfect, and I'm happy to like talk through some of those things like with people, but like I'm not going to sit here and participate. If they're like, no, like she did blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to be like, okay, cool. You realize that's my sister, right? Like I'm not going to, don't think I'm going to just sit here and let you
talk like that. No.
Yeah. I'll just quietly sip my drink and be like,
family's
what do you
family.
expect from me? Yeah.
Family's family. So I think that's where your loyalty lies. Yeah.
Exactly.
But also tell him he was a jerk.
Yeah. Obviously. No, I'm just kidding.
Obviously.
Let's go ahead and get into my story. This one is titled, We Hate Our Best Friend's Boyfriend. In parentheses.
What if
she listens to this pod?
OT. What if like, wouldn't it be funny if one day like, so she's writing this and then like they were like the friends writing in about the same.
Weird.
That'd be so cool.
Weird. All right, let's dive into it. Hey, or sorry, I don't know why I said hey. Dear Taryne and Ashley. They want to prefer to be anonymous for obvious reasons. They're anonymous. I'd prefer to be anonymous for obvious reasons. Even though all of the details of this email is going to be a dead giveaway to my friend who I'm currently writing in about. I'm going to start this email by saying I am a day oneer for the podcast and YouTube. I'm 21 years old and I religiously watch all of your guys' content. I've even made TikToks that Taryne has commented on. She adds in parentheses, my mama said that it was okay trend. I don't know if you remember that, Taryne.
Oh my gosh, I do.
Do you really?
Yes, I totally do, because I remember being like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Because it was like you basically would post like there's someone that you look up to that like made you feel comfortable about something, and she did one about me.
Oh my God, cute.
Yeah.
My mama said.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. I feel like I never know the trends. I feel like Taryne's really good with like what's trending on TikTok, and I'm horrible.
Yeah, I'm just like really hip.
She's really with it.
I'm really like with it.
Our anonymous continues. You both make my days, especially Mondays, so much brighter. I've also gotten my previously mentioned best friend to also be a big fan. I'm an Enneagram 6 and she's a 9. We haven't missed an episode or an October series episode in general. She also bought your guys' merch as a gift for me. Best mug and shirt ever.
How cute.
You guys bring so much joy and enlightenment to us. Wow. All right. Now that I'm done showering you guys with all the praises that you guys deserve, with a slight introduction, here's my dilemma. My best friend, whom we can call Franny, of about 7 years, has been going through a rebellious phase. She was really shy in high school and didn't have a lot of confidence. About a year ago, she finally saw herself as me and my other close friend, whom we can call Allie. We're kind of like a trio, she says. She finally saw herself as we saw her. Franny is beautiful, kind, and creative soul who deserves the absolute world. She started dating about a year or two ago with her newfound confidence.
Love that.
Allie and I were originally super supportive and still are trying to be. We gave her a lot of advice about how to protect herself while still gaining experience in dating, yet she still went down the inevitable path of bad boys. I mean,
We all have.
it's almost like a rite of passage.
Literally,
You know?
I feel like every girl, if you ask, who was your bad boy? That was mine. Can you believe that, Michaela? Who was yours? I would.
I don't.
From how you've described the guys that you've liked, he's the one that would come to my forefront of like, it was like, oh, he's like kind of like a little rebel.
So there was actually a guy that I dated right before him that I would put him in like the bad boy category. And it wasn't, we never were official or anything. We dated for like a summer. We met in college.
What was his name?
I'm trying to remember.
You forgot. Ashley. He doesn't count then.
I can see him.
Oh, okay.
His name was.
I had a few.
Taryne had a bad girl 10-year sprint of bad boys.
Every guy is a bad boy when you're the actual most innocent little cherub baby.
Correct.
Which that was me. I was like so innocent, and all my guy friends were like, we will never date you because you're just this angel and we're going to corrupt you. And I'd be like, I could be bad, but no, I couldn't.
Yeah, the reason I wouldn't say please beep all of the names.
Yeah,
Michaela,
all the names.
is because he was a genuinely kind person and like we actually fell in love. Whereas this guy was just using.
Yeah.
And I feel like I also was it was just like complicated.
Yeah.
But definitely more in the bad boy phase.
Love that.
Anyways, inevitable path of bad boys. There we go. Allie and I just said she's living for the plot and obviously let her do what she wanted to while also being there for her. We initially understood the rebellious phase because she didn't get to experience that at all in high school. We both have been there after every situationship has fallen off. About a year of trying to protect her and occasionally letting her figuring things out for herself, she has finally settled for her first boyfriend. And I mean settled.
Uh-oh. That's my actual nightmare is that my friends will see the guy I'm dating and they're like, oh.
Yeah, you landed on him.
Oh. Like you want to walk in and all your friends to be like, he's so
amazing.
hot. Or he's like so fun. I love being around him. Like you want one of those vibes, not like, he's like.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
She continues, this is going to sound harsh, but she knows I can be a little blunt. She has not dated a single guy of quality that has treated her well. She went through a lot of failed talking stages until now. We can call this guy Dylan. Dylan is in a band that once included one of Franny's failed talking stages. She practically broke up the band because the boys fought over her and treated her like property.
Okay, but now I see.
Right.
That's like you're like, I am living like I am in the OC. Like there's a band and they're fighting over me.
The two musicians fighting over me that are in a band together.
They're all emo. 100%. Like the bass player and the drummer.
So emotional. So emotional.
That song's actually about me.
No, that song's about me.
My dream.
Franny decided that she liked Dylan, but decided not to tell me and Allie because she didn't think that she had a chance. Dylan was popular at the high school that we went to and graduated from. He was attractive and rumored to do and sell drugs. Oh, what a catch. Am I right? Oh, I don't know why Franny didn't think that she had a chance, but once he showed interest back, she told me and Allie. Allie and I advised against dating him. We never heard good things about him, and we know Franny's history with the band that Dylan is currently in. Again, I wish I could chat with you girls in person to give you all the real details about why Allie...
These are juicy enough, girl.
About why Allie and I hate this guy. Franny agreed with our advice, but still decided to date him anyways. Allie and I were dumbfounded because Franny obviously deserves better. And quite frankly, we felt disrespected as friends that she would take our advice, ignore it, and then continue to experiment with this guy being her first boyfriend. I personally see it as a form of self-harm because I don't see it going anywhere good. Dylan is a deadbeat with no schooling, no job, and no aspirations.
Woof.
Brutal.
Tell us how you really feel.
He just plays in this now 2-man band. I wonder if the other guy left. Do you think the other guy, they got in a fight over Franny and took off?
So what, is it like a guy with a synth and like...
For sure there's a synth. One of them's a keyboard player. One of them has to play guitar.
Oh my gosh.
You can't call it a band if there's no guitar.
No, that's true.
It's so funny. I'm sorry. Franny has admitted that she doesn't think this relationship as of right now is going to be long term, but says she wanted to date him because he actually showed commitment that her talking stages did not. She says he holds her hand and just the bare minimum of things that make me think that she just settled for finding someone to be in a first relationship with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Franny could get mad at me since it's obvious I'm writing about her. So it's probably too late for advice on how to approach the conversation with her if she does, in fact, hear this.
Oh my God, I forgot that Franny's listening.
Yeah. Allie and I are just at a loss on how to be good friends to Franny at this point. Franny knows how we feel, and it's hard for us to be supportive when Franny says we're right and then just ignores us. How do we get it through Franny's head that she deserves better? Are Allie and I being too harsh? We're just tired of being sidelined to Franny's self-destructive behavior. What advice would you give Franny since she's probably listening? I would appreciate any advice in general. I don't want to resent my best friend for who she dates, but it's hard to watch her allow herself to be treated poorly. Thank you, ladies, in advance. Franny and I love you. I wanted to include photos of us as well, since I know you two live and breathe for the photos.
Yes,
so here's...
Stop. You guys look so fun.
This is Franny.
Cute.
This is anonymous.
Okay, earrings on point, though.
I know, super cute.
Cute. Well.
Okay. Well,
can I just say, I think that that's one of the hardest things to balance in a friendship is because what you do is you bring this person into your mushy inner circle, right, of your life. Like it's messy. They know all the things. You tell them all the things. They watch you like emote when like things happen. So they see how things affect you. And with that, you form this thing where that person feels like they're a part of your life and that they almost have the right to tell you what you should do in life. Like that's what, like when you really break down, which it sounds like you guys are like full-blown besties, that's what happens. One of the hardest things is when your friend decides to go down a path that you don't agree with. And when you share your heart with them out of a genuine place, but they decide to do the opposite. It's really hard. It's really hard to like remember that that person is an adult who can make their own decisions.
Yes.
And that when someone doesn't take your advice, it's not personal. It's because they're their own person. And so what I've kind of landed on, because I've gone through this with multiple friends where I'm in the background going, what are you doing? Right?
What are you doing?
It's hard when you know this is going to end in heartbreak. But I think the worst place you can get in is this like, I don't care, sit back, and then when they're hurt, you're like, well, I told you. Like, that's not a friend who cares about you. Sometimes you have to say, I'm going to share with you what I think, but I'm always going to be here for you.
Yes.
And when they're going through their heartbreak and they're crying and they're like, he did this, you have to hold your tongue and just be there for them. Now, I do think there's ways where that doesn't work anymore. And that's if your friend is doing something that like they're getting like physically, emotionally abused, like doing things that it's like actually dangerous. And sometimes you have to be like, I can't watch you like literally ruin yourself. And like, I have to step back.
Yeah.
But I think that sometimes that comes with being an adult where you have to sit back and be like, I don't agree with you, but I'll sit here and I'll let you tell me your stories about date night, even though I'm like red flag, red flag, red flag. Like,
right.
And I just like will find those moments when I can offer up my advice because I care about you, but then I have to step back and let you do whatever you want because you can't control another person. And it's hard. It's hard because you genuinely love them and that's why you want to say something, you know?
Yeah, I think I hope Anonymous, I hope you really pay attention right here. I think the role of a bestie is to be a safe place.
Yeah.
It is not your job to make decisions for her. It is not your job to protect her. You cannot lay out her life or be the one to say date him, not him. Like that's her life and that's her choice. And she has the right to live her own life and make her own decisions and make mistakes and then bounce back from them and then make more mistakes. Like that's every human's life, right? As a best friend, your job is simply to be a safe place for her to come back to every time, for her to vent to. I think the only time you should ever like fully intervene and like put a foot down or whatever is if there's like some kind of self-harm or someone's being hurt, right? Like other than that, like you're a sounding board, you're there to brainstorm. You have a 100% every right to tell her honestly, like what your honest thoughts are. But I don't think you should expect immediate change. Like if it happens, awesome. But like also that's her decision to make. And I think you're doing the best you can. And I would just sit back with popcorn and watch the rest of the show. Like she is going to live out her mistakes. And you know, I did it. Like I know we've all been there where we've just like constantly just made mistake after mistake. We kept dating the wrong guys. And Taryne's been there for a lot of mine. And she probably knew every time that it wasn't going to work out. But she never like hounded me for it or like made me feel embarrassed or anything for making those decisions. But like she was there every time. And I feel like that's all you can do as a bestie. That's your job.
Like that didn't mean I didn't ever share with you my opinion. Like there would be some times where I'd be like, okay, I don't love that he's making you feel like this. Or I'd be like,
I don't love that he said that.
Yeah, I'd be like, Ash, you know that like you deserve more than that, right? Like I would still say things or like I'm sure there were guys you knew I either like liked or wasn't the hugest fan, but I never made it to the point where you felt like you had to hide your relationship. That's the dangerous part.
Yes.
Because then stuff could actually be going on, but they're not coming to you anymore because they don't feel safe.
Yeah. And I am going to go back to, I know you said you can be blunt, but the like uneducated, not going to go anywhere comment, that's a little harsh. And I think especially for being in college, like he has so much growing to do. And that's perspective coming from a 34-year-old. Like we have no idea where Dylan's going to end up. He could end up in school. He could end up in a awesome job. He could become a well-grounded like man. He's currently in college. Like no one knows what the hell they're doing at that time.
And he could be like a straight up loser too.
It's a huge possibility.
The thing is, like you're saying, like it's sometimes I will say like you almost have to give them like a slight chance and like get to know them a little bit more versus like just what you see on the outside.
Yeah. He was a skater boy.
He said, "See you later, boy."
Yeah. Dylan could be a skater boy.
Yeah.
And then him and his band end up rocking it on TV and you're like, well, it's Dylan.
Imagine. But also I just want to say this, and Franny, I'm going to say this, girl. As someone who's been in Anonymous's shoes, don't get too mad at her. Like, and I know we're like talking really freely and talking crap on your mans. So sorry about that. So sorry. Don't get too mad at her and those friends who actually are going to speak up and be worried about you and willing to like say stuff that you're going to get mad at. Those are the ones you need to hang on to for dear life, because when you have a friend who never speaks up, just lets you live your life, never offers like any advice or opinions or asks clarifying questions, those are the people that are not going to be there for you or like help push you to who you could be. Like you need people who are equally as supportive, but are also like always looking out for you.
Yeah.
And so don't get too mad at her, Franny, because she loves you. Like that's what I hear through this is I love her and she deserves more. And it's hard to watch her go through this.
Yeah.
The other thing I will say, Franny, the thing I'm a little concerned about is because you've had no experience, I can recognize sometimes that makes you just jump into things because it is something. And we always say that quote, what's that? You expect the love what's it?
I'm trying to track with you.
From Perks of Being a Wallflower. You accept the love you think you deserve or something like that. But I will say, like, for you to keep accepting these guys that are not good for you and you're like, I know they're not good, but like whatever, and giving you the bare minimum, I would encourage you to, it sounds like we need to take a moment to like look in and see if we're really like loving and taking care of and honoring ourselves, because you should not feel like, oh, he'll do for my first boyfriend. Like, no, you should be holding out for someone that does more than just hold your hand and makes you feel like, oh, he held my hand. Like, you need someone who like has like passions that you're also passionate about, who makes you feel like you're the only girl in the room. Like, there's so many things that you can aspire for. And if you're only accepting all these guys that your friends are like, you're so much better than him, it might be time to like take a second to be like, do I need to work on my like self-love?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Also, like, sometimes first boyfriends are just like settles.
Yeah.
I don't think
just don't let yourself collect damage while you're just having fun with this first boyfriend. Like, make sure it's like,
yeah. I think here's the thing, and I'll summarize with this. If you are looking for a committed, like, loving, caring relationship, it doesn't sound like Dylan's the guy. But if you're on board for like, this is my first boyfriend, yay, we're having fun, blah, 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 then like, awesome. And like, I hope you guys have fun. And like, do all the first boyfriend, like first dates, like all of those things. There's such a pivotal point in your life. And like, it's supposed to be messy. It's supposed to be kind of weird because it's your first one. You don't know what's going on. You know, no one's expecting you to find your husband with your first boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know, so let it be awkward. Let it be uncomfortable. Let it be like new. Let it be exciting. Like, this is your first boyfriend. So I'm excited for Franny to be experiencing her first relationship.
And like, how cool to say like band broke up over you. That's sick.
I would honestly put that in my bio.
That would be my like party story all the time. It'd be like, oh yeah, one time I was dating this guy from this band, and then the drummer.
Like, your first relationships, you're supposed to look back and laugh, right? You're supposed to look back and be like, yeah, that wasn't great, but like, man, I was having so much fun, you know?
Yeah.
And then to Anonymous, like, I love how much you care for her, and I think
you're a ride or die.
I think as long as you know, she's not getting her heart trampled with like high expectations of this guy, then like let her live.
Yeah, I think
you made your point. She already knows.
She's sounds aware. Like she's aware, because she's like, no, I know this isn't going anywhere. Yeah. He's fun for my first boyfriend. So,
and she's being honest and open about their relationship. So she's not hiding anything from you so far. So that's good.
Yeah.
So.
You said your piece. Like me clear. With Ash. Like, now that she's done with all of them, I'll be like, Ash, what is wrong with you and those guys you've dated? And now she's had place and actually is with like this amazing guy, and she laughs with me about it. You know what I mean?
My stupidity. Yeah.
I'm like, remember that guy? Ew. And she's like, ha ha ha. But before, I wasn't pushing those opinions on her because
more sensitive. Yeah.
It wouldn't. And also, like, that sucks. Like, if you're like excited to go on a date with this guy and then your friend's just like rolling her eyes the whole time, like, you want to make sure you have a good balance. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm gonna say.
Read the room. If she's welcoming your criticism, give it. If it's a sensitive thing, then like, read the room.
Yeah, but we love a blunt ride or die bestie. We all need one of those in our lives.
We do.
So we love that for you, but just find your balance. And Franny, don't get too mad at her.
Yeah,
because she loves you. She's fighting for you.
She does.
Also, sorry for some of the comments I made earlier. I forgot you were listening.
We should have done like speaking to Franny and speaking to Anonymous more clearer, but hopefully it's all in
you
love.
Guys get it.
Okay.
All in love.
All right, Taryne, you want to wrap it up with a dad joke?
I would love. Where do bad rainbows go?
Bad rainbow. I don't know. I literally have nothing.
It's a prism.
Oh my God.
It's a light sentence.
Stop. Okay, that went from like bad to really good really fast. Guys, if you made it to the dad joke, you already know the drill. We love you the mostest. Be sure to check out our premium listening service where we have bonus content for you every single week. Be sure to send us in stories that you need advice on. Follow us on socials. And yeah, I think that's about everything.
We love you so freaking much. Have the best week.
Freaking much.
And yeah, that's it. Bye.
Bye.